How's it going, everyone? I'm Adam Buongiovanni, back here with another OnlineBookClub.org Wednesday interview with one of our Book of the Month authors. I'm here with Belle Ami, the June 2018 Book of the Month author for OnlineBookClub.org, and Belle is the author of The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci. Belle, thank you so much for joining me today.
Adam, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Anytime, anytime. So let's jump right into it. You're the author of The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci. Now, I'm a big fan of the Da Vinci Code, so as soon as I saw this pop up on my radar, I was extremely excited to dive right into it. Why don't you give the listeners a little background on The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci?
Well, The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci is my new novel in my Out of Time series. It's the first, and it's about a Leonardo da Vinci painting that was painted by Leonardo in the 1500s, and it's about two famous real people, and it follows their journey, and the painting disappears during World War II. What happens is it ends up, and that's part of the mystery. It disappears. A German officer falls in love with a art historian at the Uffizi Gallery, and the painting disappears. Then we come to the present, because it's three romance. It's a hard story to explain, but it's three romances over time.
Wow.
And it's about reincarnation. It's a mystery. It's about people being reborn, the evil people and the good people.
Wow. Wow.
And that they have to solve the mystery in order to unravel, to stop also the tragedy that continues to happen through these three lifetimes.
Wow.
Which is part of that. It's an amazing book. I'm very proud of it.
No, and you can tell you put so much thought and time into it. Now, as an author, and we talked to a bunch of different authors on here, and I know it's such a difficult process. You know, even writing a book is one thing, but then getting it published is a whole nother obstacle. When did you get the idea for this book, and when did you realize, you know what, this is what I want to work on?
Okay. This book is an idea I came up with when I was actually about 21 years old.
So like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, right. So it's been sitting in my mind for I don't want to say how many years. But
You don't have to.
Probably longer than you're alive. So it's pretty funny, actually. But it wasn't exactly this story. It was similar, but it wasn't exactly. I had the whole concept, and it was about a painting. But I didn't have the whole, I didn't even have the time frame where I was going to do the painting, where it came from. And now this is about the Medicis, so it goes back to Leonardo's time. And the book I feel like the book came out of the universe to me. And it was meant to be written by me. And it was I'll tell you, it was a really hard book to write, because when you go back and forth through time, you don't want to lose your reader. And it can be, they always say, stay away from doing that kind of, I forget the term in the movie world, but they always say, you don't want to do that very much. But I think it works, and I don't think anyone said they were lost. And
no.
I think the book's mesmerizing.
No,
I think it's going to be a great movie.
Oh, for sure. And the cool thing about it is I went and looked at a bunch of the reviews, both on OnlineBookClub.org and other sites, and people have such positive, kind things to say about this book. So as complex as you said, going back in time and transitioning back and forth might have been, it's such an amazing thing because you didn't seem to lose anyone. All of the readers and the reviews I saw were so positive and so kind. How do you feel after you put so much time into something and then you get all these kind words said about it?
Oh, what can I say? It means everything. It's the affirmation of everything I had hoped for this book. I just wish more people, being an author, because it matters so much to me, I wish more people just go on Amazon and give a review. Oh,
for sure. So anyone watching, please do that.
Yeah, you live and die by these reviews, and it helps.
Oh, for sure. And then it's with the way Amazon's built and all these, the algorithm is you have to get more reviews, and then when you get more reviews, it gets pushed up in the different categories, and everything is so complex. So and I think more people have to realize that if you like a book, let people know about it, because that's how these authors, make a living, and that's how these authors could do what they love and provide these books for us to read.
You're absolutely right. It takes a lot. I mean, when you think about it, you write a book, you spend a year on it, let's say, or 6 months to a year, or it could be longer, who knows.
Yeah.
This one was about 6 months. You edit it 100 times. I edited this book at least 1 million, and there's still a few little things to get through. And then you have someone's, it's a long journey, and you're selling it for $2.99 to $4.99
exactly.
In ebook, and it's like the biggest bargain in the world.
You're right. It's an adventure for $2.99 is the best bargain I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly.
And people just have to realize that. Exactly. And you're completely right. And I hope that when people read your book and continue to read your book and keep leaving these positive reviews and keep letting the world know how much they enjoy it, because that means a lot to you, but it also means for people who are fans of you that they're going to be able to continue to read books by you, because you're going to be able to continue to do this.
Exactly.
So let's hope. But no problem at all. So you obviously you've written a ton of books, but let's go back in time a little bit. And when you were growing up, were you an avid reader as well?
I was completely an avid reader. I've been reading my whole life, and I've read every genre. I eat books.
That's amazing.
I always have. Literally, I was already reading college books when I was like 7 and 8 and 9 years old.
Wow.
In terms of literary. Yeah, I've always been a reader.
Wow.
I believe reading is what let me see the world, because I didn't have any access to the world, but I had a desire. And literally I traveled the world through books.
No, it's true though. They're your one-way plane ticket to anywhere you want to go in the world. If you want to go to Rome, to the pyramids of Egypt, you could really go anywhere. And that's when we do these shows, and I talk to people, and I know there's, whether it's young kids or high school kids or even adults who, I can't get into a book, I can't read. They don't realize the magic and the power books have. Like the story you wrote has so much intricate details, and you could learn so much, and people sometimes just don't give themselves the chance to get to that point. So it's really refreshing to hear that you eat books, because I feel like I'm also my diet also consists of books as well.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So now, writing, obviously, this isn't your first book, but I'm sure every book you write has different obstacles. I know you mentioned that going back and forth in time was an obstacle for this book, but what other obstacles did you face when writing The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci?
It was a ton of research. So there was a lot. I spent months. I must have read 20, 25 books just to write this book. Yeah, I had to read Leonardo, even though I can't give as much history as I would like, because readers, they really don't want to hear too much telling. Right. They don't want too much of that. You still need to know it. Yeah. You still because it informs the way you write the characters and who they are. So, and of course, creating the place, the sense of place in the book is, for me, it's an absolute necessity. I must do it. I can't go forward without it. So, this one had a lot of issues, and I did a lot of rewrites. I rewrote this book so many times, I can't even tell you. I fortunately have an amazing editor, even though a lot of and I had proofreaders and everything, still some little commas got away from me, and I was really distressed over it.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure, because people don't realize, I think a lot of readers just think that people write a book, and then they put it out there. And there's so much that, and me not even being an author and just speaking with authors, I know how much goes into it and how much time and effort goes into it. So I'm sure as much as you love writing this book, it is a huge contributor of stress into your life.
Oh, definitely. It's a lot of work. And it's also very solitary.
Yes.
You really have to, writers write. You have to write 3, 4, 5 hours a day, no matter what. And then you edit. And then today you have to market and promo.
That's a lot. Obviously, like I mentioned before, this is the first book in the Out of Time Thriller series. So are you working on the next book, or are you taking a little time off? What's next in the series?
Never any time off, but actually I was, as this book was publishing, I'm about, I'd say 40, almost 50,000 words into my third book and my prior series, which is the Tip of the Spear series, which also has done very well. It's
awesome.
the story of a deep cover Mossad agent.
Oh, wow.
Who rescues a Harvard student. It starts with that, with the first book, Escape. And it's all about the nuclear program in Iran. It takes place in Iran.
Oh,
so
that's
I
really
had a
cool.
lot of research.
Yeah, I feel like you're always attracted to the research. I
love that research.
But that's amazing though, because that, you know what, you keep learning through the process, and as you learn, you're teaching so many people about these different things that they would never know about. So I think that's really cool, and that's what I always preach to people to read books, is because if you're gaining knowledge, you're doing something right. As long as you continuously gain knowledge, whether it's fiction, whether it's non-fiction, whether it's a little bit of both, you're gaining something from it. So as long as you keep writing these books, Belle, we're going to keep gaining knowledge from them.
You betcha, I won't let you down.
No, with all the research, I don't think we have to worry about that. I'm pretty sure we're good.
No, so anyway, I'm going to finish this book, which I hope to finish in the next month.
Okay.
And then I'll start number 2 and out of time right away.
Wow, that's
right into it.
You know, I can tell you're the type of person who definitely doesn't take any breaks. You're a writeaholic and a workaholic, which is a great it's a great thing to be, you know. So okay, so now obviously you do have a family, a husband, and 2 kids of your own. Now, how difficult is it to balance writing time, like you mentioned, all the solitary time, and then also balancing time with your family?
I will tell you, I regret. I have some regrets, and that is that I didn't start writing when my kids were younger. I kind of waited till they were grown to really give this my all, and I should have tried then, and I should have put out whatever I could, because it's such a learning process, writing. I myself learn with each book so much about everything, not only the places and the things I'm writing about, but I learn about, to become a better writer. I write better with each book I write, and my family now, I don't have to cook as much. I cook only a couple. I'm a gourmet cook, so
Wow.
I only cook a couple of meals a week.
Only a couple.
Takeout or soups.
That's like, for a gourmet cook, I feel like they're like, oh yeah, only making like 4 meals a week. It's like, yeah, just 4.
I try.
Yeah.
So I try to keep and before I would do a lot of other things, but I'm a real workout person.
Oh, awesome.
That makes it makes me write better.
Oh, wow.
I have to have my brain going, so
that's cool.
I do work out a lot.
So you're definitely not the type of person to sit still for too long. You're either writing or working out or cooking. That's amazing though. Like, I feel like life gets too boring when you sit still for too long. So the fact that you're always doing something, your mind's always going, you're gonna do that for many, many years and keep enjoying life doing that.
Absolutely. I can tell also that you're the kind of person who can't sit
Oh
still.
yeah, I talk fast and I don't sit still. Those are my.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. I heard you. I'm definitely in that boat. Oh, the only thing I can do is write. I'm not a great writer, so maybe someday. Not today.
Well, that comes with practice makes perfect.
You're right. And if I talk to enough authors, maybe some of it'll rub off on me.
There you go.
Yeah, so hopefully, and then maybe I'll learn to research a little like you too.
Osmosis.
There you go. Yeah, hey, you never know. So Belle, where could everyone find you? I know I know your website's up and your social media, but people want to find you. Where do they go?
Well, I'm pretty much everywhere. Right now I'm tied to Amazon with this book for 3 months. Kindle Unlimited.
Yes.
So because it's a good way of
course.
I self-published this book.
Oh, awesome.
My 2 of my other books are with small publishing companies, and a few of the others are self-published.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm on everything. I'm on Amazon, of course, and I'm Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on LinkedIn.
So everywhere.
So I'm everywhere.
Belle Ami is everywhere, is what you're saying.
She sure is.
That's awesome. So I'll link in for the description when I upload this to YouTube as well. I'll link everything for you. Remember, guys, read The Girl Who Knew Da Vinci, and then also, if you like it, leave a review. Belle, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that we could talk to you in the future.
Adam, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to the future talking to you.
Thanks so much, and good luck with everything. Well, thanks again, Belle.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye. I always say this every time I get off and talk to these authors. Like, they're unbelievable. First of all, they're unbelievably smart. Belle was unbelievably smart. You could just tell she had so much intelligence and so much knowledge. And she really works her ass off. And that's something so commendable from my perspective. But then you talk to these people and I feel like I always gain such an insight into life. Like, I feel like I'm learning more after I talk to these people. I'm going to link everything that Belle does and Belle Ami and all of her website, the Girl Who Knew Da Vinci. Please remember to give this a thumbs up. Comment what other authors you want to see me interview, because I absolutely love doing this. It's one of my favorite things. Thanks guys, take care, bye.